Okay, all right. Welcome to the session again, everyone. We can start off for today, and we'll be discussing mostly adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions. They're fairly straightforward concepts in terms of parts of speech. Um, but sometimes adjectives and adverbs they can be a little confusing because there are words that may be used both as adjectives and adverbs, and also because there can be confusions in the way we use it. Sometimes a wrong choice sounds right, but that is not always how it works. So we'll look at a few examples wherein we think that there can be confusions between adjectives and adverbs because both are modifiers, right? The basic difference between adjectives and adverbs is about what they modify. But functionally, both of them perform the duty of a modifier. That is, both of them are tasked to add additional, to give additional information to the counterparts. Could you distinguish between what they modify, if you remember anything from the lecture?
Some adjectives modify noun and pronoun.
Yeah, okay. So adjectives modify nouns and pronouns. How about the verbs?
Some adverbs modifies
Hmm.
verbs and nouns.
Hmm.
Verbs and adverbs.
Just verbs and adverbs. What else do they modify?
Adjective as well.
And also adjectives.
Yeah, right, absolutely. So there are at least three things that the adverbs can modify. Definitely, from the name, we can guess at least this much that they can modify the verbs, right? But again, keep this contingent on the verb, right? Which means it's not necessary that it has to be always around the verb or that a verb is necessary, absolutely necessary in order to bring in an adverb. It can come around even in the absence of the other. But yes, if we are talking about modifications, then the modification by an adverb is mostly of a verb, another adverb, right, and an adjective, right? And in, like he said about adjectives, the modifiers function as modifiers to adjectives, function as modifiers to nouns or pronouns, right? So this is the basic difference. What they modify is the difference. The function is to modify, right? Okay. Uh, so that's all about adjectives and adverbs. Okay. One more thing that is important when it comes to knowing adjectives is the adjective order. What is the adjective order? In case you have more than one adjectives, then what is the expected order of the adjectives? It's important, and it is good to know the order because especially when you are um, writing, right, about anything, whatever your topic of writing is, most of your writing is formed around description. And what aids you in describing or having a descriptive piece of writing are the way you can use adjectives, right? Because description is mostly about giving information about a particular thing or a person or place, right? So, which means you're going to use a lot of adjectives while you do that. So, knowing the adjective order also then tells you what are the things that I can write about when someone asks me to write descriptive. It's not directly linked to what we are supposed to do today, but since we are at it, I thought this is something that we can sort of just passing this on to you. So, what is the adjective order?
Opinion, like,
Hmm.
yeah, opinion. In the lecture, it was told.
Opinion is just one of that, right? So, what all kinds of adjective do you have then? Opinion, yes, you're right about it. What what more can you see in the
Size,
adjective order?
color,
Maybe tell about
Yeah,
color,
right.
size,
quantity.
So there can
shape.
be size, shape, color, okay, quantity, yes, and age, which means in terms of is anything new, old, right? Purpose, material, all of them become a part of your description, and maybe more. Okay, we might have just listed a few, but all of these. So in that case, what is the right order? What comes first? Okay, give me, okay, let's do this. We'll come up with some adjectives so that we can understand this better. Opinion. Any word that you have for opinion?
Ma'am,
Any adjective that, sorry?
interrupt with ma'am. I don't understand the adjective order. Can you
Huh.
explain it?
Adjective order means when you have more than one adjectives, they have to appear in a particular order. They cannot appear randomly, right? All those cannot take any place, any position in a sentence that they want. Okay, as they want. It has to appear in a particular order, and that is called the adjective order. You're expected to write all these adjectives in a certain order with respect to what should come first. Should opinion come first, or should size come next? Should color come next, right? So this is referred to as adjective order. Okay.
Here.
Huh. So all right. So any adjective that you can tell me, which is any simple adjective, which talks about someone's opinion.
Intelligent.
Ma'am, good or bad?
Good or bad, okay, anything, right? So say good or bad or beautiful or intelligent, someone said. Okay, intelligent, just for the moment take intelligent. Then uh, age, anything that refers to age. I'm only choosing the ones which will go with intelligent now, since he has already given intelligent.
Young,
Young, okay.
old.
Young or old, okay. Let's, we'll keep one because we can't use all of them to show order. So we'll just take young. Then okay, so that we'll keep. Now let's go for something like beautiful, right? This is again opinion. Give me something more in terms of shape.
Large.
Beautiful, large. Okay, shape, large. Shape. Shape is
Oval,
not large, right?
oval,
Shape. Oval. Okay. Then
Small.
shape is not small. Okay. Uh, okay, we'll keep oval. Then color.
red, black,
Pink, blue.
Okay, anything of your choice. Okay. Material.
Cotton.
cotton, silk,
Okay, cotton, silk, anything. Yeah, I also see some chat responses here. Okay, you're all correct. Spherical, round, yes, all of them can be shapes, not small. Uh, okay, so you have beautiful, you have cotton, you have red, and you have oval. Okay, so suppose if I have a sentence, um, um, red. The other things that we have here is a little difficult to go around. Can we change cotton to something else?
Glass,
Uh, Glass. Okay, we'll keep glass. Okay. Okay. So, for example, now I have a sentence. I have to make a sentence, right? How can you put these adjectives in order? Let's say I am defining a tumbler. Okay. Tumbler is my noun, and you can form any simple sentence using all these adjectives with the noun tumbler. How will you put them in order? What order will you use? I'll put down the adjectives if you are not looking for. Glass, red, and what else did we have? Oh, okay. So 4 of these adjectives. Okay, please check your chat. I've written down the ones that we have discussed. And then the noun you might want to describe is, say, tumbler. Okay. Pick up with a simple sentence using this. to show adjective order? It's something like this. It is a hmm, if, for example, this is your sentence. And how do you do this? It is a dash tumbler, and you have to use all of these adjectives. What order will it come?
It is a beautiful red oval glass tumbler.
Beautiful oval red glass tumbler. Yes, that's right. So, what order did we follow then? We have opinion, then we
Color.
have the shape. Yes, opinion, shape, color, and
Type.
material.
Material.
Material. So, opinion, shape, color, material. Here, right? So we had only 4 here with respect to opinion, shape, color, material, and we put this in order. First comes opinion, then the shape, then the color and material. And overall adjective order would look something like this, right? It would first have, say, something that we call as a determiner. Determiners are nothing but articles, okay? Articles and a few other things like some pronouns of quantity, etc. Right? But mostly determiners, what we mean by determiners are the articles a, an, and the. Right? So, in case you have any of these, then this should be the order, right? Determiner, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose, right? So this is how you need to arrange your adjectives when you have more than one adjective in a sentence, right? Just one, obviously not a problem. But in case you have, say, two, then two in a sentence, then this becomes a this has to be the order that you need to follow to arrange them properly in a sentence, right? Okay. This is one thing which is of importance while you're learning the adjectives. Good to know them because, as I told you already, they help you in descriptive writing as well, right? So you know what all should you write about, what all are the characteristics that you can elaborate on while you're asked to write descriptively, right? Yes. So this is one part. Okay. Questions now. You look at the activity, right? As a quick, um, you know, synopsis to what adjective and adverb is. So it's a part of speech that modifies a noun or a pronoun. Adjectives usually tell what kind, how many, or which about nouns or pronouns, right? So these are diagnostics. You can use these things with almost all the parts of speech, right? The diagnostics for adjective would be mostly this. What kind, how many, which. If you can, whatever the answers to these questions would be, about the noun and the pronoun will be your adjective. And similarly, adverb again is a modifier. So it modifies another adverb, a verb, or an adjective. Okay. It can describe actions in terms of how, when, where, and to what extent it occurred. There are more adverbs, but for the time being, we're only going to focus on how, when, where, which means you're looking at the adverbs of manner, place, time, and degree. Okay, that's all we are required to know by now. You don't have to know the names, names we use for all of these, but you should be able to identify them, right? So for that purpose, as a diagnostic, you will use, you will ask questions how, when, where, and to what extent, so that you know your adverbs properly. Okay, so for our sake, we are going to be doing the adjective adverb exercises, particularly to look at a few adverbs that may be of some confusion, right? Or rather, from the corpus, we find that a lot of people, especially people who use English as their second language, or people who learn English as foreign language, would commit, right? Sometimes there's a confusion between the adverb and adjective. So this exercise is a list of such words which are commonly confused, okay? Are confused in terms of whether they are adjectives or adverbs. So let's look at them. Uh, the first question, Meenal, uh, correct or correctly explained the terms.
Correctly.
Correctly.
What would you choose between correct and correctly? Which
Correctly.
one is
Correctly.
okay? So what is correctly? Is this an adjective or an adverb?
Adverb.
Adjective.
Is correctly an adjective? Look at what it is modifying. Correctly explained the terms. It's an adverb, right?
Yes.
It's an
Adverb.
adverb. Correctly, ly is something that you find as a suffix to mostly the adverbs of manner, but do not take that as a while it is applicable to a lot of adverbs, but don't take that as the only sign to call something an adverb. Please go by function and usage of the words rather than by rather than their suffixes or prefixes and all that. You can go wrong, okay, when you look at things in that way. And also, that's not the right way to learn anything. It's always about um, how they're used and how they're represented structurally within the sentence. Okay. So yes, Meenal correctly explained the terms, right? We cannot use correct anywhere because what we have to modify here is a verb, and that has to be done only, that can be done only by an adverb. So Meenal correctly explained the terms. The second part, the answer sounded
Correct.
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 okay. What kind of usage is
Adjective.
this? This is called, this is an adjective, and this usage of adjective in this manner, right? So we are not saying that this is um, a correct answer.
Yes.
So your adjective correct comes at the end of the sentence. This kind of usage of an adjective is called a predicative usage. Okay. So attributive is when you are going to place the noun and the adjective side by side. Correct answer. In this case, correct is used as an attributive adjective, and when it is located far away as a complement at the end of the sentence, this usage is called a predicative usage. And these kind of sentences are very, very common in the English language. Okay. Is an example of attributive adjective. Okay. The boy is good. The boy is intelligent. This is an example of a predicative usage of the adjective. Right. So same adjective can be used both in attributive and predicative way. It's just the structural change. The sentence becomes a little different structurally. That's it. Okay. Now, the second one, Maya quick adjusted the fees.
Quickly.
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 Quickly adjusted the fees. Again, the same thing like the first one, right? You have a verb here, and that needs an adverb for modification. She adapts quickly to any situation.
Quick.
Quickly.
Quickly.
She adapts quickly to any situation. You don't have any direct noun that you need to modify here. Again, the word that comes up is adapts, right? So quickly. Okay.
And here it is, we will use adjective or adverb in
Any
she
situation. You
adapts.
don't say she adapts quick to any situation. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Any question?
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am, generally this ly words, will it explain a sort of process or a procedure? Like she adapts quickly to any situation. So it's basically a procedure to adapt something. So like even if we see the before example, the answer sounded correctly.
Hmm.
So is it meaning like the
Procedure?
ly
No.
words will describe a process?
Ly words usually describe a manner. It answers the question how. How did the action take place? Right? So
Yeah.
it's not a process, it's the way or the manner in which it has been done. Process is a different word. It is different
Okay.
from the word. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's the next one? I measured, third one. I measured the floor exactly. They were of perfect, exactly measurements.
Exactly.
The first one, I measured the floor exact. I measured the floor exactly.
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 Exactly, right. It's about how did you measure. So exactly, correct. They were of
Perfectly
perfectly,
exact.
Perfectly exact.
they were of perfectly
Exact.
exact measurements, right? See this? Why perfectly? Can you explain this in terms of grammar? Why did you choose perfectly and not perfect? If somebody asked you, can you grammatically explain me why did you choose perfectly and exact?
Because
Perfectly
it is
will modify
yes,
adjective exact.
Yes, correct. And exact is an adjective which modifies the
Measurement.
noun measurements,
measurements.
right? Yeah, so that's a grammatical explanation for it. Okay, so I measured the floor exactly. They were of perfectly exact measurements. Fourth one, is everyone following? Anybody, any confusion? All right. Uh, yes, anybody, any question? Okay. Uh, the stillness of the valley was awful,
Awful.
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 awful, right? The stillness of the valley was
Awful.
awful, right? So stillness of the valley, the whole of that part is referring to, it is a noun like, construction. The whole of that part becomes a subject. It's a attributive usage, sorry, predicative usage. So
Predicative uses.
yeah,
Yes.
the stillness of the valley was awful, right? So you're using awfully is your adverb, awful is adjective, here you're using adjective awful. Second one, the valley was awfully still or awful still.
Awfully.
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 Awfully still, right? Awfully still. Correct. All right. Fifth one, it was a dangerously or dangerous mountain to climb.
Dangerous.
Dangerous
Dangerous.
mountain to climb.
Dangerous.
First one, it was dangerously dark.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Dangerous mountain to climb, and
Dangerous
the man
mountain.
was
Dangerously.
Dangerously.
dangerously drunk, right? Because you're now modifying the verb drunk. Okay, all right. Sixth one, she danced magnificently,
Magnificently.
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 magnificently, right? Because again, danced is verb, so you need an adverb. Everyone said that it was a
Magnificent.
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 Performance.
magnificent performance because performance is noun and you need an adjective for modification. Okay. Seventh one, her voice sounds beautiful.
Beautifully.
Beautifully.
Beautiful.
Her
Beautiful.
voice sounds
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
beautiful, right? Again, this is predicative usage. So
Yes.
you are modifying someone's voice, right? Which is noun again. So her voice sounds beautiful. She sang the song exactly as it was written.
Exactly.
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 She sang the song exactly as it was written. Now you're modifying the verb, right? The last one, we heard it.
Perfectly.
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 We heard it perfectly. Okay. All right. Eighth one, they was a very sensible person.
Sensible.
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 Sensible person.
Sensible.
Sensible person. It's a sentence. What is this? Is it an adjective or an adverb? They was a very sensible person.
Adjective.
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 Very, is it an adjective? Look at it carefully.
A very is adverb and sensible is adjective.
Ha, yes. Very is an adverb because look at that. What is very qualifying? Very is qualifying the
Disqualifying
adjective,
sensible. Yes.
right? So it's adding degree to the sensibility of the person. It's an adverb of degree. So very is an adverb, not an adjective. Okay. He acted very
Sensibly.
sensibly.
Sensible.
Very sensibly. Again, look at the thing. Sensibly is what? It's an adverb, and very is qualifying another adverb. So we know the
Yes.
function of adverb is to qualify either
Verb,
verb,
adverb, or adjective.
another. Yeah, another adverb or adjective. So in the first case, it was qualifying adjective. Second case, it is qualifying another.
Adverb.
Okay. Yeah. Ninth one, Mayank wrote too slowly on the exam. He always writes slowly. Mayank wrote too
Slowly.
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 Slow.
slowly, right? Slowly on the exam. Then comes he always writes.
Slow.
Slowly.
He always writes
Slow.
What is it modifying here?
Noun. Oh.
He always writes
Verb.
Yeah.
slow.
So writes is a noun, so after that adjective will come.
Writes is not a noun.
It's a verb.
Verb.
It's a verb, right? He always
Okay.
writes slowly,
Slowly.
not slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
See this? This
Yeah.
can be a confusion. A lot of people would immediately go and write, he always writes slow. Okay, no. Slowly, because you're talking about how somebody writes. You're describing the action, right? So slowly. He always writes slowly. 10th one. Talk softly, soft, or don't talk at all.
Softly.
Softly.
Talk softly.
Softly.
Yes, talk softly. Or don't talk at all. The music played softly, soft.
Softly.
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 Softly. The music played
Softly.
softly. Correct. The 11th one. Akash knows the lesson very good or very well.
Very
Akash
well.
Very,
knows the
Well.
lesson
very
very
well.
Very well.
well. Very well. Right? Akash knows the lesson very well. Then she always treats us good. She always treats us well.
Good.
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 She always treats us.
Good.
That is also well. She always treats us
Yeah.
well. Okay,
Well.
both has to be well, right? That's the right usage. Somebody well. Okay, so this is a usage by itself. This is not exactly because good is a wrong choice there, but it's also because you might have already gone through this. I don't know if you have seen this. There's a concept called collocation, right? So collocation restricts the usage of certain words together, although grammatically their combination is possible. So this is one example of that. So knowing well, treating well are by themselves collocations. Okay. Okay. So to send payments regularly.
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 Regularly. Case about your qualifying the action of sending payments. So you must send payments regularly. We deal on a strict cash basis.
Strict cash basis.
We deal on a
Strictly.
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 Why?
Strictly.
Why? Because you're talking about how you deal with things, right? So strictly. 13th, the mechanics too or good.
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 Good, right? So tools cannot be well. Tools can be only good. So, or between well and good, it can be only good, not well. So the mechanics tools were good. The foreman said that his work was good
Well.
or well
Well,
done.
well done.
Well done. Right? Well done. Again, this is again an example of collocation. You always say well done. You don't say good done. Okay? Although, if you look at it technically from the point of view grammar, just grammar, there might not be a problem. But again, language is also about usage. So collocation is a part of language usage, and we do not say good done, it's only well done. So these are things that are specific to languages, right? So English does not accept certain kind of construction. Certain kind of words cannot go together, although grammatically they might be, there could be a possibility. But then that's precisely the difference between mathematics and language, right? So acceptance is a major factor when it comes to language and the usage. Okay. 14th one.
Ma'am?
She worked with a sick old man.
Carefully.
Carefully, right?
Carefully.
She worked carefully with a sick old man. She was a very carefully worker.
Careful.
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 Careful. She's a very careful worker. Again, see, very used as a verb of degree with the adjective careful. 15. He did not lift the weight as easily as he thought he would. He did not lift the weight.
Ma'am, the 15th question is not visible.
Fine.
Hello, ma'am.
You-
Am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
In 13th sentence,
30,
the mechanics were
30th
that one.
sentence. The mechanics tools.
I don't understand this question. Can you explain?
What do you not understand in the question?
sentence. The mechanic tools were well or good. What we used here, well or good?
The mechanics tools were good. You're talking about tools. No, you don't usually say tools were well. The usages were. You're not. I'm sorry, but your audio isn't clear.
Ma'am, we can also use well here.
The mechanics tools were well is. I am not sure about the acceptability of that usage. Why do you think it can be used? Have you found a construction of that type anywhere?
No, ma'am, but the meaning of well and good is same now.
No. No two words will have same meaning ever. And also, when you learn language, it's also about the usage of it rather than just knowing the meaning of it, right? So in that case, you can also, in certain cases, people also overlap the usage of short and small, but that does not mean they have the same meaning, right? They definitely, no two words have same meaning. There is definitely a difference of meaning, which is why they are two different words. Okay. And in this case, as I was explaining particularly, there is also something called language usage. You don't say the tools were well, right? That's not how, not about sentence construction, but the language is used. That's precisely the difference that I'm drawing. Language use and grammar sometimes do not go hand in hand. Something that is grammatically possible is not acceptable in the language use. Okay, grammar is more like a rule that you use to form these sentences, but then what is actually accepted by the society in terms of usage is quite different, and this is an example of that.
Yes, ma'am, got it. Thank you.
Okay, okay. All right, 15th one, he did not lift the weight as easy or easily?
Easily.
Easily, right? Has to be easily because again, you're talking about how the person lifted the weight, right? So as easily as he thought he would. He did not lift the weight as easily as he thought he would. I find 16th one. I find this documentary very interesting, interestingly.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting, right? Adjective. It was interesting, interestingly short.
Interestingly.
Interestingly.
Interestingly short. Okay, how was it short? It was interestingly short. Okay. All right. I will continue doing the same thing. The second one is also related to this. The first one, the soup smells nice, nicely. I'm absolutely sure it's very good.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Soup smells nice. Again, what is this usage? Nice is used as what?
Adjective.
Adjective, right? So predicative use. Soup smells nice, right? Okay, so adjective. Second one, have you ever been dash injured?
Badly.
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 Ha. Okay, have you ever been badly injured? Now, what is injured here? It is
Adverb.
injured is what?
Adverb.
Verb.
Oh, sorry, verb. Verb. Verb.
Verb. Yeah.
Have you ever been badly injured? And injured is what? It's a verb.
Yes, ma'am, it's verb.
Okay, so I am going to introduce you to another category of adjectives which take ed at the end. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if I say injured badly, you can say that this is a verb, but when badly injured comes, injured is what? It's an adjective, participle form of adjective. It's otherwise called participle, but these participles are, you understand participles, right? You have V1, V2, V3. So injure is your base form of verb. And then you have the participle form as injured, which is also referred to as the V3. Know this? Yes, no?
Yes.
Huh. So these participle forms, actually participle has got nothing to do much with time or tense. It's just that they are used as a form in expressing certain forms of time in language. But they're basically a category in English called the participles. You have another participle category which comes with ing. So for example, you say this class is boring. right? So in this, what is boring? Boring is actually used as an adjective here. This class is boring, or say a boring class or an interesting class. Interesting, boring, etc. They belong to a category of words called participles, and these are used as adjectives, right? Similarly, you have a set of words with the ed suffix, like they have ing in that word. There's an ed suffix here. Again, they belong to this class called participles, and they're used as adjectives. Okay, so badly injured. Just a moment. Okay, sorry. All right, so you have another category with ed as the suffix, and these are also used as what? Adjectives, right? You can use them also. So badly injured. In this case, your injured is not a verb, it's
Adjective.
adjective. So badly injured. Look at it. What am I doing? This badly is your adverb, and it is qualifying what?
Adjective.
Adjective injured. Okay. All right. Now, third one. Is that clear? Any doubts? Anyone? No problem?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, scroll down. Can you guys not see the screen already?
Yes, you can see.
Okay. The water in the river feels dash in the morning.
Cold.
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 Water in the river feels cold in the morning. Okay, cold in the morning. Right. Next, I need this money.
Badly.
Badly.
I need this money
Badly.
badly. Right? Need this money badly. Okay. If you do not understand why it is, just ask me. Those of you don't understand. Okay. Otherwise, we just consider it as done and move ahead. You should apologize when you are
Late.
when you are late, right? You should apologize when you are late.
Late.
They came dash after breakfast.
Directly.
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 They came directly after breakfast.
Directly.
This again answers the question how, right? How did they come? Came directly after the breakfast. Okay. Now, my boss is a dash respected man, highly
Highly.
Highly.
highly respected. Again, look at that ed. Respected is what here?
Adjective.
Adjective, right? So highly respected. Highly is your adverb modifying the adjective respected. The plane was dash up in the sky.
High up.
High,
High.
high up in the sky.
in the sky.
It was a dash train.
Slow.
Slow.
Slow train.
Slow train, right? Slow because you have the noun here, so you can only choose the adjective here. Slow train. How dash of you to help me?
Nice.
Nicely.
Nice.
How nice of you to help
Nice.
me.
Nice.
And how nice of you to help me.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, the eighth one, how high came?
the plane was high up in the sky. How did high come? Because you don't have any action to describe here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're just referring to the position or the place of plane in the sky, right? So you're adding to giving additional information about the place where the plane is, or the levels where the plane is, right? That's why
Yes, ma'am.
we are not qualifying any verb here. We're not talking about any action. That's why. Okay, so the plane was high up in the sky. Okay, where were we? Okay, 11th one. I have dash finished.
Nearly.
I have nearly finished. Again, same thing. Finished is what? It's the adjective, right? Finished is the adjective here.
Verb.
Somebody- One second. Sorry.
I'm verb now.
I have, oh yes, in this case, yes, verb. I have dash finished, true. But yes, nearly. You can't use near again here because again verb. So nearly finished. Finished is verb here. Correct. Then 12th one, the tall woman smiled at me dash prettily.
Prettily.
Prettily. Right? The tall woman smiled at me prettily. The bus was going dash stopping at each bus stop. Slowly.
Slowly.
Going
Slowly.
slowly. Yeah. So direct modification of the verb going slowly. The motorways in your country are not bad,
Bad.
bad, not bad, right? So motorways in your country are not bad. Again, 15th one, he didn't realize how things looked for us,
Bad.
how bad things looked for us. Okay. 16th, I dash know her. Hardly.
Hardly.
Hardly know her. Hardly know her. No, again, verb. So modifier, hardly. Adverb. I haven't seen him lately.
Late.
Lately. I haven't seen him lately. Okay. Seen.
Late can
Modification.
also work, I think.
I haven't seen, no, late cannot come. Because see, seen him lately, you are modifying the verb seen here. Haven't seen him, so it has to be
It
lately.
might change the meaning. I haven't seen him late. Late in anything.
No, that is not a right construction of sentence. You don't say I haven't seen him late.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 18th, I have tried dash to pass my. Yeah. How did you try? I have tried hard to pass my exam. Now here is hard an adverb or an adjective. I have tried hard.
Adverb.
Adverb.
But what about hardly? Can you give me a sentence with hardly?
He hardly speaks to anyone.
He hardly speaks to anyone. So is it an adverb?
Yeah. Yes.
It is an adverb.
Yeah.
How?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hardly knows. Okay, so it qualifies your verb. So hardly speaks. How about hard? Can hard be used also as an adjective?
Yes.
Yes, right. Hard work is an example of hard used as an adjective. But in this sentence, is hard used as an adverb or an adjective?
As an adverb.
Adverb.
And how do you know that?
Ma'am, because it does not qualify a noun.
Does not qualify a noun, but what does it qualify? It qualifies the
Verb.
verb right.
Verb.
Verb right, right?
Yes.
So you can also have words like this, which are used both as adjectives and adverbs. You know, words like fast, early, and hard. Okay, there are a set of words like this which goes both as adjective and adverb. So when you use them, your major focus should be to look at how they are used. You know, look at the function of that word in the sentence and decide for whether it is adjective or adverb. Right. So in this case, both hard and hardly, the options given to us are adverbs, but the usage of between them with respect to adverb and adjective. Hard is also an adverb. So watch out for words like this also. Okay, you can find this if you want to know. I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. They'll have a list of. We don't give list of words because it does not help. Okay, it's always better that you learn how to check. You know, diagnose how they are used than just having a list of words. How much can we remember? Right. 19. He looked at us dash coldly. Looked at us. Looked at us coldly. How did he look at me? Coldly. So coldly, because to modify the verb look. The last one. My sister is somewhere dash the shop.
Near.
Near.
Near the shop. Near the shop. So somewhere near the shop. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, how about near?
It is a preposition.
Near is a preposition. Okay. And
Adjective.
what other things are near? What is it used as in the sentence? My sister is somewhere
Adjective.
near the. My sister is somewhere near the shop.
Adjective.
Preposition.
You decide.
Even I think preposition.
If it has to be a
Because
preposition,
it's
is somewhere near the shop, right? Can I ask the question where?
Yes.
No.
Adverb.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. If I can ask the question where, then it is also an adverb here.
Adverb.
Okay, it's also an adverb.
Adverb.
Okay, where is my sister? She's near the shop. Okay, doesn't adverb also talk about the uh, place and time too? So there's manner, place, time, degree. So again, nearly and near both are examples of adverbs. Near is another word, just like hard, which can be used both as adjective and adverb. Okay. Mm. So when you use it as a preposition, it can be used as both the preposition of place to meaning to show the exact place, like where is she near the shop. Hmm? For in some sense a replacement for the common preposition at, and it can also be used to show time when you're using it as preposition. So there are overlaps, but you need to look at what is the most appropriate when it comes to the sentence that you have at hand. Okay,
So, ma'am, it does not qualify for a preposition over here.
not here. Okay, because we are referring to the actions plays, right?
Yeah, ma'am,
Yeah.
getting.
Okay. All right. We have some more time. This is easy. Prepositions. Any confusions you have with preposition, that is comparatively an easy. Some kind of prepositional collocations can create troubles. But do you know the usage of in, on, and at? All the three can be used as prepositions of place as well as prepositions of time. Aware of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all these three. I mean, there are other things also under these category, but then the most common ones are in, on, and at. You should know their usage in terms of their usage as prepositions of place as well as time. These three can be used for both. Show prepositions of time and place. Prepositions has very basic functions. Their function is to show relationships of some pronoun in the sentence, right? So that can be with respect to the place, time, position, direction, right? Movement, right? So that is what the basic function of a preposition is, right? In, on, at, in terms of place, how do you describe them? So if I have
They
in,
will
on, at,
always come before noun.
yeah, they have to come before the noun, object, noun. Okay. Subject, noun, of course, doesn't, we don't look at it in terms of preposition. Object, noun, yes, always before the object, noun.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. As prepositions of place, what does in mean when we use it as preposition of place?
Yes.
Mhm. Go ahead, go ahead. What does it mean in prepositions of place? He is in the field. Or say, no, not in the field. Let's say he is in the office. What does it mean?
Location. It gives the
Yeah,
location.
that we know. Place,
Yeah.
yes, but can you define that? Place or
Inside.
location, same thing.
Inside.
Inside. That means something with a boundary, right? You use in usually when you have to show an enclosed space or a boundary. Please go through those lectures carefully. There's an exact distinction drawn between all of these things. Okay, so you have to know this because otherwise you'll go wrong on the usage. So in is when it has a boundary, right? Or an enclosed space. So in the office. You can also say he's at the office. And in the office, but there's a difference when you use it. And the difference is when you are saying in the office, you are referring to the boundary of the office, right? Somebody is within that boundary, is what you mean, in the boundary. But when I say at the office, you are pointing towards a specific location, right?
That
It's in
location.
specific location, that location. Okay, so that's the difference between in and at. So something that is in the boundary within an enclosed space and at a specific location. On, he's on the field.
Surface.
Over
Surface.
surface.
Yeah,
Surface.
surface, basically surface, right? So this is how you distinguish between in, on, and at in terms of their usage as prepositions of place. Now, time.
Uh, may I?
Time. When yeah, any question?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
a bit confused between in and on. Like sometimes we say we are in the bus, and sometimes it's on the bus. So it is
Huh.
enclosed, right?
Right. I'm on the, see, that refers to how you're using it, right? That's what I said. Usage could, there are overlaps between how you use in, on, at. But the reference, if you're referring to the enclosed space of the bus, if you're referring spatially, then it has to be in the bus, right? I'm on the bus, you're just specifying the location of, I'm on the bus right now. But preferred use, yeah. Okay, get the difference.
Okay, okay,
Huh.
fine.
So like I'm in the class and I'm at the class, right? I'm at the class refers to your exact location. I'm at the class. Okay, that is a direct reference to your location. In the class literally means I'm inside the class. I'm within the boundaries of the class. Okay.
Okay.
At means you can find somebody, if you tell somebody I'm at the class, it does not necessarily mean that you're inside the class. You're in the boundaries of the class. Okay. That's the difference.
Yeah, got it, ma'am.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. So in, on, at, in terms of time, how do you distinguish? Place is done. In, on, at as time. When I say in, the
Uh,
train reached in time.
that
The
means it
train
did
arrived
not
in
get
time.
late. It was in time.
Yes. In, okay. That's
Within
right.
that time period.
Period. Okay, you're referring to time period. When you use in for showing time, you're showing the time, basically showing the period of time, right? So it's a duration that you're referring to. So when you refer to duration, then usually in is used along with months, years, right? So that's how, this is the explanation for why we use in with years or month and all that, because this is usually used to show a period of time. It's a longer duration, right? So whenever that happens, when you have to show a period of time, you use in. Then on.
At that exact time.
The exact time. Exact time is at or on?
On
The
Monday.
class starts at 12 p.m.
Mat is exact time.
I'm trying to draw the distinction for people who said exact time. Okay, the class starts at 12 p.m. means exactly. That's the word meaning for that specific time. Okay. So the preposition that shows exactness of time is at, not on.
Yes.
Okay, at is the one which shows exact time or specific time. What is on? On is also used to
Day
show
or
time.
time duration.
Within the
Correct.
exact time duration.
No, time
No,
duration
exact
is
time
what?
duration.
We discussed this already. In.
Yes.
Exact time duration. I don't know. That is not how you look at it. Exact time duration is confusing, right?
That
You don't
means,
say exact time duration. Duration
for
for
example, the
that
train
matter.
arrived on
Sorry?
time. So on time means taking the exact time duration between the arrival and the waiting time.
On time. On time is exact point in time. Okay. Oh, in that sense. Yeah. In that sense, it's correct.
Yes.
Okay. But precise time, specific time, especially when you're using, the numerical time value, it has to be at,
Yes, ma'am.
right? But if you're say you're using days or dates or something like that, then the preposition changes to on, like on Monday or on Wednesday. on 5th of June, right? So dates and they are going to, in order to show exact time, we'll take up on. And in terms of numerical time values that you put in, right, in point time is always referred to with using,
At.
at, yes, right. That is the difference, right? Point in time is always denoted using at. Hmm? Okay. Okay, is that difference clear to you? For duration periods, longer periods always use in. Okay, there is no change for that. Like months, years, seasons. There's another preposition that you use for time to show duration of time. What is that? For? Yes, we can use for also to show duration of time, right? So I will be traveling for 3 days, right? Or I have been here for a year, right? So that also shows you what duration of time. All right. Yes, no, any question?
Upcoming duration of time, na?
Sorry?
Upcoming duration of time means in the future sense.
No. Prepositions are independent of time. They don't tell you anything about time, as in sense of future and present and
If
past.
time has passed, then we use it for since.
No, no, don't bring in since here. We are not discussing that here. Yeah, you are right that we use with the perfective forms of present tense, but let's not confuse at this moment. Just keep the basic prepositions in mind in, on, at, and for. I brought in for because I wanted to show
Okay.
period. Okay, period of time. Okay, all right. Right. So know the differences of in, on, at. These are basic prepositions used both for place and time. Right. As long as you are aware of that, the rest of the things are easy because they're used for more specific purposes than these three. Okay. So let's quickly do a few of these exercises. This one may have this. This is I think a mixed exercise. But at the end of this page, you have starting from 11th onwards, you will have exercise that is specific to in, on, at. Okay, so I'll share the document with you. You can go through those 11 to about, I think, questions straight is on, in, on, at. So since we have already discussed, you can go through them and answer. But the first 10 we'll do since it's a mixed bunch. Okay, it will have at least few of the other propositions also discussed. So let's do this one. First one, I'd rather study and pass dash repeat the course instead than besides.
Besides.
Then besides, why? What's the meaning of besides?
Instead of.
Besides is instead of. No, what's the meaning of besides? Besides means additional or yeah, in addition to or apart from. Okay, basically it's shown for addition. Here we are not additioning, right? I would rather study and pass.
Yes.
These are contradictory situations. So answer is than.
Yes.
Right? I'd rather study and pass than repeat the course, which means I don't want to repeat the course. I'll just study rather than doing the course again. Okay. So I'd rather study and pass than repeat the course. Instead will not fit. It won't fit here because you'll have to use of with instead that we don't have here. Okay, and besides, of course, is very different. Has a very different meaning. You cannot compare. It can be used only in sentences which are written in additive fashion. If they are contradictory things, two contradictory things, then besides won't come. Okay. Second, talking on phone while driving is dash the law. Beyond, despite, against. Against the law, right? It's against the law. Third one, you will receive your parcel within, during, inside 10 days.
Within 10 days.
Within.
Limit, right? From start within 10 days. In this case, you are clearly dash
With a disadvantage.
okay. Dash disadvantage. Wait a minute. No, actually that's okay. Yeah.
At.
You are clearly
At.
Huh. At a disadvantage, not in a disadvantage. Okay, a lot of people have a tendency to use Indian constructions like this. In this case, you're clearly in a disadvantage. That's wrong. You're clearly at a disadvantage. Hmm. Fifth one. This book dash PJ Wodehouse is full. Was anyone
Yes,
asking a
ma'am.
question?
Why is it wrong to use in there in the previous?
No, same thing, see, a lot of these, like I told you, there are collocations in language. This is also an example of prepositional collocation. Okay. So you don't say in a disadvantage, you only
Okay.
say at a
Thank you.
disadvantage. Huh. Right. This book dash fifth one, this book dash PJ Wodehouse.
Bye.
By.
Of.
Huh. This book of by PG
By.
Wodehouse. Okay, not of. Again, this is another thing that people would do. This book of PG Wodehouse. So that's not how you write it. It's by. Written by. That's the construction.
Yes.
Okay, written by. So this book, we just don't have the word there, but basically it means written by. This book by PG Wodehouse is full of fitting humor. Sixth one. My parents lived in the same city. Dash ages.
Since.
No.
For.
Over.
No.
For.
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 Four ages.
ages.
4 ages. You're showing a long period of time. Since requires to have a point. You have to specify the time. Without that, you cannot use since. Okay.
Okay.
For since, you have to write the and you can live in the same city since 2 years or since 2 months, right? Something you have to be specific about the time. You have to mention that. But vague things like ages, years, months, then you only use for, because the purpose is to show duration. The other one also is duration. Like I think this is what you were asking. But then for since, you need to have a specific time put up. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh. The singer is French. Seventh. Oh, the singer is French. I was dash the impression that she's Dutch. Of under in.
Under.
Under. I was under the impression that she's Dutch. Somebody has asked me some question. Johan, you have a question? I see your hand raised. No. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am,
All right.
band.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, under the impression that she's Dutch. Okay. The train should take one. The train should have been here. Dash now. Until about by.
Until.
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 The train should have been here until now. No.
By.
Yeah, by now.
By
By
now.
now. By now. Okay. What is until? What is the what kind of preposition it is? Preposition of
Time.
time, right? Mostly time. And until is also used as a conjunction. So what does until mean? Up to, right? It indicates the time till something is allowed, right? The point in time or the event mentioned. So up to is the other usage for until. Here we cannot say that. Up to now, no. You can say by now. Okay, the train should have been here by now. Ninth one, we have put a lot of effort, dash this verb, into full.
In.
Okay, what's the meaning of into? So if you have to choose between into and in, what will you write?
Into.
Why?
Because we put a lot of effort.
Depicts action.
No, because we have
Sorry?
Action.
put efforts into the work. Like
There is no boundary over here. It's all about work.
Hmm. We have put a lot of effort into this work. We have put a lot of effort in this work. Usually, when do you use into?
when we enter into something.
So like you show movement, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Action.
So like she the car moved into the tunnel or something of that sort, right?
Yes.
Okay. And where do we use in? In has, of course, two functions. We don't know.
Place and time.
Place and time. Yes. Then, so what do you think is the right usage? Should we use into? Should we use in?
Into.
Because work, when you say work neither qualifies that as something that you can, can you immerse yourselves in work? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you can say we have put a lot of effort into this works, right? Some kind of not like a literal movement, but still, yes, you immerse yourself in the work. So you can, I would say actually you can use both into and in. It should not be wrong to use it in that way. Okay. Only in cases where you have clear indication of movement, you should use, I mean, into. Because that there's no other thing, like you cannot just use in such cases, right? To show movement, definitely into is possible, but because work is vague, right, you can also say in or into or anything, depends on the perception, and both of that is right. So in or into, both can go in this case. Okay, there is no problem. I don't think it would be marked as wrong if you use in or into, because I myself have heard a lot of constructions like that, even in the larger corpus. So say you can say in this work or into this work, no problem. Okay, but to be appropriate, you put effort into something, right? Although in is not wrong, the more appropriate response to this question would be into. Okay,
Because
keep
most
this in
of the
mind.
time it depicts some action.
It depends on action, but the more appropriate response that you can have for a question like this is into, although in will not be considered wrong. Okay, because of the ambiguity of references like this, in could be okay, but a more appropriate response would be into. But either of the answers would be taken as right. No
But
problem.
ma'am, as you said, in is referred when we use preposition of place and time, right? So here work
There
is
are many usages of words which do not strictly go by their definition, which is why I told you in the beginning, usage, right?
right.
In language, more things are about, some things are used very abundantly and widely, although they flout rules, but then they become a part of your acceptable speech because
Yes.
when everybody is using it, right? Languages flourish like that also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. 10th one. My friend and I drove dash the coastline of Chennai through onto along the
Along.
coastline of Chennai. Okay, so the rest of the things are all in, on, and at. While you have a look at this exercise, please be careful of the things that you see in bold. Okay, like roads, direction, spaces, right? All of those, please have a look at it and see how and where you use in, on, and at, or how, with what do you use in, what do you use on and at. There are sometimes like, for example, look at the first one. Be careful, there is ice, dash the roads today.
On the roads.
On the roads, yeah?
Yes.
Huh. So, and what about the second one? Krakow is situated, dash the south of Poland.
In the south of
In the
Poland.
south of Poland. Do come in, don't stand, dash the cold.
In the cold.
In the cold.
In the cold, right? So make a note of the things that are in bold as you answer these questions. Some of them will naturally come to you because now you're not like beginners in English, but you have fairly good knowledge of how sentences are constructed and all that. So something would come by nature, naturally to you. However, it is always nice to stop and ponder on, why have I used an on and not an. Okay. So for that, you do an analysis in terms of what we discussed, surface or enclosed space or boundary, etc., etc. So things would be clearer to you while you answer than, just answering out of memory or, you're used to phenomena of language. Okay. Just go through that, check on this one as you solve through. I'll share the document. I'm not going to take all of this because the exercise is fairly simple, but the point of including that was to show you how this is used. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's it. So next week we'll discuss articles, okay? And I'll also try to add a few exercises in collocation. Last time I did it at the end, but then I see that it's also part of the qualifier. So we'll try and quickly discuss. Collocation is a lengthy topic and take at least 2 or 3 classes to cover all of it. But we'll see if we can jam things together and at least give you a quick exercise on it. Okay. So thank you. That's all for today.
Then the
Any,
answers
if you
are
have,
also given in this file.
no, I don't want to make people lazy. Okay. It is tough to, I mean, I can do that, but I don't prefer doing it because
So
otherwise
that we can
it
check the
defeats the
answers,
purpose.
match it once
You
to
can check the answer by watching the lectures. I mean, the session. Okay.
Ma'am,
Until,
where do you provide these documents?
these are uploaded in your English 1 supplementary section.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. And
So
where do we have to share it again?
you don't have to share it anywhere. You just
Okay.
access it from there and use it for practice. That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fine.
You don't have to submit anything in these sessions. This is just a practice session. So you come over to the session, discuss these things, and if you're taking notes, good for you. You can later on use that while you're practicing for the exam or otherwise generally. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Huh. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we'll meet next week. Meanwhile, if you have confusions or anything, you can make a note of it, come to the class, or of course, join the live session tomorrow, 5 to 6, and then clear it off. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, just sorry. Actually,
Yeah.
on the calendar, we are not getting the right timings.
In the
So,
calendar.
yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
We are not getting the right
For
timings.
which session?
Like in the previous week, you
Huh.
said that there will be a session from 2 to 3, and on my calendar, it was showing around 5 to 6.
Uh,
So that's why
so
we need.
I'll let you know. For you, your English 1, right? So
Hmm.
I am unaware of the other sessions, but I'll tell you about the 3 that I know. And they are updated correctly on the calendar. Please check back. The first one is on Tuesday between 12 to 1, which is the session, which covers
Yes,
your lecture
yes.
topics. The second one is tomorrow between 5 to 6, and it's a common session for the English 1 and the English 2 students, which means you'll also have people from English 2, right? That's a
Okay.
live session, and this is a session which will have the professor. If not always, he's certainly around for most of the times. So you can come and directly clear your doubts in case you feel like you want to talk with him directly, right? So Sir Rajesh joins the session. That is one. And then another one is common for everyone. That's open for everybody, not just English students or others. That's called Read With Us, which happens on Sundays between 7 to 8. Okay.
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
Okay.
These are the ones which I think are open to English 1 students. I do not know if there are more things that are included. Not to my knowledge. Okay. I think also conversation practice is open to everybody, but I am unaware of the timings for that. I'm sorry. So
Okay.
check for that. I
There
think
is
it
not a lively participation in conversational practice.
that is precisely what that session is meant for, to make you lively, discuss and practice. That kind of people
Nobody
do come.
joined yesterday.
People usually with hiccups do come for conversation practice. Okay, people who know how to speak don't have to come for that, right?
Okay.
So that space is created for exactly people who have problems in speaking up and all that. And of course, these are the first 2 sessions. You will see the improvement only over the period of time, right? You don't magically start speaking. So this is aimed at that, to remove all those inhibitions and speak up. So yeah, it will, you join the session. I mean, if nobody is speaking, you initiate. So people will respond to you at least, if not start voluntarily talking. Right?
And ma'am, when does these sessions occur?
Which ones?
The conversation one.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. I'm not exactly aware of the time. I
But
know
that is
just
not added in our calendar.
Every Monday from 5 to 6, but nobody joins.
Monday 5 to 6. Is it just weekly once or
Weekly
twice? I heard
once.
it's twice. Once? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
because ma'am,
just
we are
check.
not getting it on the calendar.
Calendar it was
Not
sent.
okay. I'll speak to the team if it is not updated. No, let me check it right away. I'll let you know if it is not updated.
Okay. Okay.
So yesterday was Monday, right? Actually, I don't see it on my calendar. Does this happen over Meet or Zoom?
Ma'am, over Zoom, I think. Yes, over Meet.
Okay, Meet. Tutorial on professional. Okay, don't see it here. Okay, I'll speak with the team. Okay, and ask why is it not updated or if there's a problem. But yeah, all these things happen. Okay. Okay. Any other question?
Ma'am, where
That's
we can
all?
find that
Okay, then thank you.
recording
We'll meet
of
next
this
week.
class?
Yes, I am recording. Which reminds me, I should have stopped. It is recorded. You can find this in the. I mean, it is updated along with your calendar, the links, so you can watch it from there.